Hi friends, today we're going to start our winter penguins. We're not going to make the penguin just yet, we're going to work on the background. And so we're going to be drawing a little iceberg for our penguin to sit on, and we're going to be making a background using our cool colors. Remember we talked about warm and cool colors, and those cool colors are green, blue, and purple. Now when I look at my crayon box, I found a couple different shades of blues and purples too that I probably will use as well, so feel free to use those. And so today all we need is a white piece of paper and crayons. The first thing we're going to do is make sure that our paper is the tall direction, and we're going to start by drawing our iceberg down near the bottom of our paper. Now our iceberg is going to be floating a little bit from the bottom. So I'm going to start with my blue. It doesn't matter what shade of blue you use. And I'm going to start by drawing what looks kind of like a puddle. So I'm going to make a wavy line. It kind of goes around and connects. It looks kind of like a puddle. Then once I have made my puddle, then I'm going to make it look more three-dimensional. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to add a line on one side of my puddle, a line on the other side of my puddle, and I'm going to connect the two. But when I connect them, I'm not going to go straight across. I'm going to follow that wavy line at the bottom here. So I'm going to go down, up, down, up, down, up. And across that little side piece of our iceberg, I'm going to draw lines that go straight up and down. That makes our iceberg look more three-dimensional and not flat. Now I'm also going to very lightly color in that little side piece. That is going to be the platform that we're going to glue our penguins to once we draw them, so make sure that you don't make it too tiny because you don't want to have a little itty-bitty iceberg for your nice big penguin that we're going to be creating. So now for the background. It is truly up to you how you would like to decorate the background. I said to a couple friends too, you could use paint, you can use colored pencils, you can use markers for this as well. I'm going to be using crayons because I think they blend really nicely. And so when I color in my background, I'm going to just start by coloring kind of in wavy lines, almost. And I'm going to try to use all my different cool colors and blend them. Maybe I'll do another little line here. Now, if you have a different way you want to color in your background, you are more than welcome to. You don't have to color it exactly how I'm coloring mine. Now, I want to make sure that I leave that iceberg white, so I'm going to very carefully color around it. Okay, now I use my purple. I think I'm going to use some blue. And I kind of overlap my colors a little bit so it looks like they're blending into each other. All the white space except for the iceberg, right? We want to keep that white. Again, in my crayon box, and I know it's the same crayon box that some of you picked up from your schools. So I do have some different shades of blues and purples. So I'm going to kind of rotate between all of them. The blue that I used for my iceberg. And again, overlapping them really does help kind of blend those colors in together. And overlapping means to go on top of look a little bit like the Northern Lights. Color nice and lightly, but you can play around with how hard you want to press with your crayon. I just noticed that my crayons blend a lot better when I press lighter. Alright, I'm going to try using different purple. Or did we use this one? Maybe not. And now I'm going to use my green and this, like, it's called blue green. So I'm going to start with the blue green. You can see some of these look very similar to some of the other colors that I used, and that's okay. Green here and there. And again, if you have a different pattern that you like better when coloring, I am open to many different ideas. You can color it how you want. We will be putting snow in our sky too. But we just want to color it. We can. I want to kind of make my lines have little curves to it. Maybe look like there's some wind. Color here. And again, you can definitely use colored pencils and markers. I will say markers just don't blend as nicely sometimes, but that's okay. Okay. Fantastic. And we have colored in our beautiful background for our penguins that we're going to be making. So next class what we'll be doing is we'll be drawing our penguin, cutting it out, and gluing our penguin so it sits right on that snowy iceberg. Great job, friends!